What's up everyone? We are back with another video, and today I wanted to do a little overview of the accessories that I use on my Specialized Globe Haul LT. For people who have seen my review video on this bike, this is a long-tail cargo bike, and while long-tail cargo bikes are great, to be truly useful, you have to get the correct accessories for your needs. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull over somewhere, and we can go over kind of all the accessories that I'm using. So I think over here is a pretty good spot to pull over. Then we go in the shade though. So to start, here's a look at the Specialized Globe Haul LT. By itself, it's just the bike part. So it's just the bike and the rear rack. And a lot of these other stuff is not on here. But then what I'm going to do is I'll divide this up into kind of two types of accessories. There's the official Specialized accessories, and then there's just accessories I added myself. The first thing I got is this front cargo rack. It has the base part, and then you have to get this basket, which is attached by this little mic adapter. It's basically this thing that clicks onto it. So you have a little key, you could click it off and take it right off easily if you want. And having a front cargo basket is obviously very useful, especially when you're using the rear for other cargo. Namely, I use the rear rack for kids. And so this front cargo rack here lets me, put my backpack and a little bag I've got. 100%, if you're getting this bike, you definitely need the front basket, in my opinion. Moving on to the rear rack, the Specialized accessories I got here are the cargo rail. And this is a rail that can be used both for kids to have a spot to hold, or you could also use it to hold like cargo, like a bag. Specialized does have this bag that you can like attach to it, or you could attach your own bags to the rack. And you'll notice on the back here that there is this thing here, and that makes it so you can actually change the height of the cargo rail. So if you want it taller or shorter, you can do that. So it lets you, if you put it taller, you can have a tall bag and put tons of stuff in it. Currently I have it set up to hold kids, and so that's how I have it set up right here. The other Specialized accessory I added was the foothold. This is pretty self-explanatory here. It's so that my kids have somewhere for their feet to go when they're sitting on it. In this case, my son sits on the back here, and then his feet go right here on the back. So those are the three Specialized accessories I had to add: the front basket, the cargo rail, and the foot boards. There's other cargo accessories you can do too, and I might do them eventually. Another one people do are the cool cave baskets for the front. You can have two of them, like one on each side, and it gives you even more cargo capacity. So now moving on to my third-party accessories, which is kind of what makes every bike unique, is the stuff that you put on it yourself. Let's start with the rear rack here. So you can see that my primary use of this bike is for hauling children. In this case, I have two young kids. So what you need if you're hauling a kid who's just sitting loose is you need a cushion so that they can sit on the rack. Specialized does have an official one, and it actually looks pretty good, but it is pretty expensive. It's like a thick one. I ended up just getting this Yuba mini spot. It just Velcros right onto it, so it would work on any rack. And it's good enough. It's like a nice, padded seat, and my son has not complained about it at all. And it's sturdy on there. And the reason I got this is because I already had it, so I didn't want to spend money on buying an extra one. Then moving on to this part here, you've got the Thule Yepp Maxi seat. This is one I've already had also, that I've used on lots of other bikes. So the one thing about the Thule Yepp Maxi seats is they're kind of confusing because they've got a couple types of them. This one here is the Easyfit adapter one. And the reason I got that is because it worked on my Rad power bike, and it goes on the back of my Urban Arrow if I need it, because the racks are made for the Easyfit adapter. Basically, the Easyfit adapter is just a thing at the bottom. It just slides through like a hole. The rear rack of the Specialized Haul LT is not Easyfit adapter compatible. And instead of getting a whole new bike seat, I opted instead, I already had this because I'd used it on other bikes before, is there's an Easyfit adapter you can buy that attaches to any rack, and then it will make it work. It's a little bit cumbersome, not easy to switch in and out, but that's how I've done it. It saved me some money because I already had the seat anyway. I didn't want to buy a new one. The other types of Thule seats you can get for a rear rack. There's the Thule Yepp Next, which clamps to the rack, and I believe that one works on any rack without the need for any adapters or anything. The other one that you can get, Thule has a MIC compatible one, and so that would be the same as the way my front cargo rack is set up, where I can just clamp it on there, it just clicks in. And so you could do that too. That's probably what I would do. If I didn't already have this seat, I would have gotten the MIC compatible one and then just put the MIC adapter onto the rear rack so I could take the seat on and off quickly. But as it stands, I have the Thule Yepp Maxi with the Easyfit adapter. Storage is another thing. So for me in the morning, I kind of have to be able to carry a couple things, like my kids' lunch boxes and maybe some other stuff. And so when you're using the rear rack as a kid holder, you can't really put like normal panniers and stuff on it. One, the footboards get in the way of like tall panniers, and two, your kids need their feet to be able to fit somewhere. So what I use instead, and this isn't the intended use of it, but it works out very well, is I use this Maxi cycle bag. This bag is like my favorite bag. It's super expensive though, is the only problem. And basically what I was looking for was something that could attach to the cargo rails, and this one works perfectly because it attaches to the cargo rails just with these straps here, and they just clip on over it. So I can take it out easily, and when I want, I can just put it in there. And it doesn't get in my kid's way because it's just kind of like hanging over there. And it's totally secure and fine. And it has a nice little opening here so I can put stuff in there. And then if I were to use it as a backy cycle bag, because there's lots of other options too, you can use like this and have it as even more storage, like you can hold things on it. So this bag, super recommended if you're using the Specialized Global LT as a kid carrier. Having this really helps to give you some extra cargo space while you have the kids on there too. I'm really tempted to get a second one too, but it's just so expensive I haven't been able to pull the trigger on that one yet. And then another little accessory, this isn't a bike specific accessory, but JBL Clip 4, just a Bluetooth speaker. I put it to the back of my bike and we can listen to music while we're riding. Another little accessory I've got here is the Turn Ride Pocket. Just gives me a little bit of extra space to hold stuff. So, you know, I usually keep my keys in here, and I can put like a phone charger and some other stuff in there. So good for holding the small things that you keep in your pocket if you don't want to risk it falling out of your pocket while you're riding. Finally, we can talk about the handlebars, because the handlebars are kind of your own thing to set up. Hey, speaking of which, look at this. We were just riding along and I noticed someone else has a Specialized Globe Haul LT too. You can see their setup here. They don't have the front rack. What they do have though is the Thule, a different Thule. I think it's the, oh yeah, this one here is the Thule Next. So this one's the one that clamps onto the rear rack, the one that this guy has. Funny. I didn't expect to run into another one. I've very, very rarely seen another Haul LT out there, so kind of cool to see another one out in the wild. But yeah, so you can see the difference between it. You can get this Thule one right here that clamps onto it, or the one I already have here, which is good enough. Okay, well, let's go back to this. That's kind of funny that we ran into another Globe Haul LT though. But yeah, so for the handlebars, this one here is the Portland Design Works Barista Cup Holder. You could hold a coffee in it. I wouldn't hold like regular coffees, but it's great for holding like fountain drinks. So like iced coffee or soda or something. It's perfect for it. And you can see I put it right there, and it's easily for me to grab it, take a sip, and continue on my way. So highly recommend this. This is my favorite cup holder just because it looks cool and it works out pretty well. And then the other thing I've got this Hornet DB140. This is just my electronic horn I use. I wasn't too happy with the bell they had. It was kind of hard to reach and it wasn't that loud. This one is much better. So you can see right here the sound it makes is, it's good. Alerts people when I'm coming. So I'm a big fan of that one. And then the final thing is the quad lock. This is a really important thing that every biker, especially if you're doing delivery, should have. But basically, you get this case here. It's a quad lock case for your phone, and then this connects here, and then it just kind of clamps right on there. And once you get good at it, you can just do it with one hand, and it's very secure. It will never come out, and the case itself is super strong too. I've dropped my phone so many times, never had a problem. So that's my setup right there. I've got the cup holder, the quad lock, and the Hornet. That's a look at the accessories I have on the Specialized Globe Haul LT. The thing I like about cargo bikes and about bikes in general is that everyone's bike is going to be different. It's going to be unique to them. And this is how I've got mine set up right now. It's a good mix of both cargo capacity and kid hauling capacity. Depending on your needs, you'll have either more or less of the other. But this is what I have. I'm very happy with it. I highly recommend everything I've got on this bike. I'll put links and stuff to the things I have in the description. But yeah, this is a look at the Specialized Globe Haul LT and the accessories I use on my bike. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.